Welcome to Caliban Command. Today I'm going to cover some of the tools that I like for my hobby space. I'm going to start with my thinner. I use Mission Models thinner. I add a couple drops to each pot of paint I get as I get it. This, I think, helps my paint run a little smoother and allows me to use straight from the bottle without stressing out quite as much, so long as I get it shaken really well. Speaking of shaking, we're going to move on to the mixing balls. I use the Army Painter mixing balls. I wash them off when I get done with them. I'm really happy with the results as I go. I cannot recommend these enough. Green stuff, can't live with it, can't live without it. It's great for gap filling. It's great for setting magnets, which we're going to speak about next. Magnets are a go-to for me. I cannot stress how great they are for setting magnets into bases and for magnetizing large models so that you can save a little bit of money over time. Drill and pin vise, absolutely dead useful. I use them to set magnet ports for Imperial Knights and things of that nature. I use them for all kinds of purposes across the entire hobby, be it magnetizing minis, be it setting magnets into bases, or for any number of purposes. I have sometimes even drilled out gun ports, though I am terrible at it. Scenic glue, as seen in the previous video, fantastic. It's $9. I love it for doing basing. Testor's non-toxic liquid cement. I use it whenever I have something that I need to make sure it does not have a gap. This is my go-to for push-fit models, and I love using it. MaxiCure sometimes creates a gap, still a dead useful glue. I use it a lot of the time for Space Marine arms and shoulder pads where I need it to set quickly and I can't afford to sit and hold the model for fear of something slipping. Extra thin cement from Tamiya. It's great. It's good for making sprue goo. It's good for making tight-fitting models. Just 10 out of 10 product overall. I use it in my Night Haunts. I use it in my Stormcast. I use it in my Space Marines. There's not a model line that I work on that I don't use this somewhere. Snips. I use the Army Painter snips. I get really good mileage out of them. I had one of the two springs down here break, but that's honestly not hampered their use at all, and I genuinely love them. Small painting handle, fantastic for infantry, fantastic for elites. It's a staple in my mobile painting kit and my paint desk. Large painting handle. Typically only ends up on my paint desk unless I know I'm going to need it on a particular project. It is so helpful. I hear the new version's better. I just haven't gotten my hands on it yet. And finally, Gorilla Glue. You have to adhere to resin sometimes, especially if you own a 3D printer. This is dead useful for that. It is my go-to for resin to plastic, or when I am attaching fine cast to anything. I cannot recommend it enough. It is even decent for holding pewter minis together. That's just a rough breakdown of my usual hobby desk accoutrements outside of paintbrushes. Paintbrushes, it's such a variety that I don't really even keep track at this point, but I appreciate that you guys have been checking out my content, and I would really like it if you would like, comment, and subscribe. We're going to talk about Hobbytown now. They are the sponsors of our channel currently, and they have a phenomenal array of painting tools. They have paints, they have models, they have everything that you could possibly need. Not to mention, their staff have always been super knowledgeable about anything that I've picked up there. They've made some recommendations for how I could improve my hobby flow. They've gone through the effort of helping me find a starting point in 40k in a faction that I love. I've played Dark Angels now for years, and that's largely thanks to them helping me figure out what faction fit me the best. The series as a whole has been a blast to work with them on. They've helped me find stuff for Age of Sigmar that I enjoy. They've ordered stuff in that I haven't had access to before. They've helped me find paint alternatives when they didn't have a Citadel paint that I needed. They've helped me find new board games to play. It has genuinely just been a really helpful crew to work with. They stock Army Painter, GW, Testers, Tamiya. They have Mission Models paints, which I got the pleasure of trying out recently and had a really great time with. They stock Gundam kits, anime kits of various types. They have the Vallejo paint line, which I use a lot when I do Gunpla to just really bring out some neat color combinations with. They have all kinds of fun in there, and I genuinely cannot recommend the store enough. I hope you guys check them out. Even if you can't find a local branch, I hope you check out their online store at hobbytown.com.